welcome to Pipes, Tobacco, and Whiskey. So we had a really good weekend last weekend that we wanted to share with you guys. We've been talking for about the last 6 months about our commissions that we were having 4 pipes commissioned, and we got a hold of a local carver. He's just out of the Fort Worth area, Trey Rice, and we've spoken about Trey Rice. Matter of fact, we've had an interview with him at the 2019
Pipe Show.
Texas Pipe Show. That's right. So we commissioned Trey to make 4 pipes for the Kuhn boys. Mm-hmm. And Nathan, if you can tell them a little bit about what we wanted out of these pipes.
So we didn't have too many specifications aside from almost all of it. No, we wanted matching colors. Not matching designs or shapes, but matching similarities. We wanted the bits to have the same accents, the dies to be the same color, and we wanted them all from the same block of wood. We wanted all 4 pipes made from 1 block of briar wood, and it had to be that.
So Trey, after thinking about it, about how he was going to be able to do it, Trey signed on. And we got started about mid-October getting this work done. Round about January, we had a little bit of a hiccup. Nathan, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, Ian's pipe was not going to be able, at least out of the designs that he offered to Trey, were not going to be able to be commissioned. There was a couple flaws in the briar itself, and for Trey to be able to work them out or take them out, the pipe was going to be too small for something that Ian wanted.
Yeah.
So it was, our options were to get a different pipe.
Yeah. No. Trey designed he had a little bit of wood left over from the block that we initially had started with. Mm-hmm. And Trey was able to make some drawings of what he could do with that block, and Ian just wasn't really feeling any of those shapes. He kind of had a specific freehand shape that he was wanting, and it just didn't work. So what did Trey do?
Trey got us another block and started from scratch on all 4 pipes.
And it wasn't like, well, I guess we can. No, nope. He said, don't worry, guys.
To him, that was the only option. We were sitting here thinking, what are we going to do? How do we go beyond this? Trey said, if you guys don't mind waiting, I'll just get another block.
Yeah. And he ordered another block and started all over with our 4 pipes.
Mm-hmm.
So last Sunday, he was finished with them, and we did our big reveal. So
here it is.
Yeah, the video that you're fixing to watch is us talking with Trey and the reveal of each pipe.
A little bit of the process, too.
This is the moment. This is the time for us to reveal our custom pipes made by Trey Rice. And just a little bit of background on this. I know, Trey, we've been talking about this for almost a year now. Yeah. And one of the specific things that we wanted to see out of this was that all 4 pipes made for all of the boys came from the same block of wood, or the same block of briar.
About that size.
It was about that size. Cool.
That was a little bigger. That's awesome.
So, and Trey, can you talk us through a little bit about what happened? Because I know that the first batch that we kind of went through was not conducive to making all of those pipes. So can you kind of talk us through that a little bit?
It was close. We made it through most of the shaping, had the stems on, the accents in, and went to blast. And on one of the pipes, the blast opened up a inclusion that was very close to the bowl there that wasn't really comfortable with putting out there. So we started again and got a new block and changed the accent material, the horn. And these all turned out well, I think.
Well, and let me tell you, we really do appreciate the fact that you were willing to go through that and get another block and start all over again. You know, I don't think that would have been something that everybody would have done, you know, and so we really are grateful for that. And by the way, folks, if you're interested, those 3 pipes that he finished on the first block are right there. So if you're interested, we'll post his information on the description, and we can get you in touch with him, and he can talk to you about the specifics of that. All right, cool. Well, let's do this. You guys ready?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's do this. Again, Trey, thank you very much.
Yes.
We're very stoked for this. So
Happy to do it.
let's see what we got.
Who's the first guinea pig?
Let's do Ian first.
Because yours is the freehand, so it's gonna be cool.
So wait. Does Trey need to do anything,
No,
or
no.
oh, so okay.
Pull 'em out.
All right. So this is Ian's. Now, Ian, what did you request? You requested a freehand, didn't you?
Originally, it was a freehand sitter, and then that was the one that didn't adhere to everything, and then I got a volcano after that.
Okay, cool. Let's take a look at it.
Everybody, yeah. Oh, got a little bitty stamp on the backside too. Hell yeah! With the smooth rim.
Now, is that a sitter? Is it?
It does fit.
Nice.
Yeah. So wait, leave it there. Leave it down there. Let's take
Yeah.
a look at this because it's a beautiful sandblast on there with that black stain, and then the rim. What color is that, Trey? On the rim of the bowl there.
The undercoat is a combination of black and burgundy, and the top coat is a British tan.
Okay, and then of course the horn accent on the end,
And
and that's almost like an army style. Is that?
it is a military mount stem, so there's
Yeah.
actually a little inset there with a brass reinforcement ring.
Very nice. That's a beautiful pipe. Boy, and that's a nice little craggy blast in there.
That's pretty sweet. What are you gonna smoke up?
Yeah, what's going to be your first smoke on that, Ian?
An aromatic.
Shocker.
Did you bring something? Because I don't think we have anything like that.
All right. Yeah.
Very nice. Well, grab it, Ian.
Well,
Grab it and spark it up.
Oh, let me. I gotta,
Go load it.
Be careful, don't drop it.
yeah.
That would be sick.
It's yours now.
Trade with my work stuff.
All right, Colton, you're next, buddy.
How about, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
We'll do it by age.
Okay. Cool. Alrighty. Let's take a look. Now I did. I just said dealer's choice on mine, so. Gotta get back. It was a blowfish, right? It's kind of what we came with. Oh yeah. That.
Wow, look at the back end of that bowl.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
The way the
That'll
grain aligned on that one was pretty neat.
Yeah.
All your ridges from the
Mhm.
sandblast are all on that spine.
One spine. That is slick.
How does the button feel in your mouth, Ian?
The button?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm big on that.
It's gonna be a hanger.
So, hey,
It's nice.
that is awesome.
That came out beautiful
That's
too.
awesome.
Good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, really, really nice.
And I'm gonna put some what was it? Golden slice.
Heinrichs?
Yeah, it's
Peter Heinrichs Golden Slice?
through it.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people say that that's exactly like the Orlik, and it's not. Because there are two different factories they come out of. The Orlik comes out of the Scandinavian tobacco, and Peter Heinrichs is the Kohlhaas and Kopp. So they're not the same, but they're both good.
Yes.
Very cool.
Very
All right,
well done.
well, go spark up, and then
That is
we'll
awesome.
we'll kind of take a look at it together. Nathan, your turn, buddy.
All right. Let's see what Nate got cooking. I have a feeling like I can already kind of see this one in my head because this one was really cool. All the pictures that we saw beforehand.
oh, there we go.
Now, Nathan, what did you
Bull cap.
request?
This.
You requested a bull cap, right?
Yes. I requested a wool cap, but we wanted the sandblasting all the way around it.
Well, look at the bottom of it. Like that's the
Oh,
best
look
part
at
of the
that
blast.
grain pattern. It looks like waves going across.
That's it. That's
Get
really
in
cool.
the light. And it did it all the way across. That's super
Now,
cool.
I've noticed that even Colton's, yours, Ian's, all have just a shade of a smooth around the bowl there.
Yep, just a bit.
Be careful with when you're lighting. Make sure you get that flame right inside the bowl. Don't char the end there.
We're going to try.
Yeah, that is awesome too. Beautiful. So they're all four of these pipes
And
are the same color.
Well, and I mean, surprisingly, look the amount of wood that's actually on it. It feels really,
Really light.
really light. So
Yeah.
it's like for being a pipe that's not going to be a hanger or one that isn't going to actually dip. It's going to be a straight in the mouth. It's light enough to feel comfortable.
Yeah, it's not weighing down on your.
No, and the
yeah.
bit's the exact same way with the saddle step on it. The whole thing is meant for a purpose smoke, and it just that's why I wanted it like that. It's so good. It's spot on.
Very cool. Very cool. It looks good.
Yes, it does.
It's kind of a squat. A little
Yeah,
bit. Yeah.
yeah.
It looks great. All right, hold this. I'm gonna open mine now.
All right.
All right. So the only thing I asked for, what? The only thing I asked for was a horn, and I let Trey kind of. And that's the thing, Trey. I think we need to talk about this a little bit too, because when someone asks for a commission, some people can get pretty darn specific as to what they want, and sometimes that's just not. In my opinion, I think you let the artist kind of come through on
Yeah.
their work. Isn't that kind of
Yeah.
what you prefer a little
That's
bit?
what I would definitely prefer. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that I was listening to a podcast about someone getting a commission done, and they were like, we want the bowl to be this deep and this wide, and the walls have to be and the stem has to be and sometimes it's just impossible to do because you're working with natural products and you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. Let's get on this.
Golly.
That top tier is.
Oh man, that is look at the top on that. Isn't that nice?
It's like
That
it's
is
a really good
beautiful.
contrast. Yeah.
Nice and smooth on the inside. Look at look at the waves on that also going up right there on the back end of it. Front it's all the way
All
around.
the way around.
Yeah, it's all the way around. It is. God. And it's not. A lot of the horns that I've seen are narrow through the tent. What part is this? Is that
Shank.
the shank? It's narrow and then opens up, but this has a little more mass to it. Does that help kind of cool the smoke down a little?
You
bit?
got a smooth top.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
I don't think that it would produce
You don't even see his face.
a noticeable effect.
Man.
But I did like on yours narrowing that top to bottom profile, so it's
Yeah.
an oval shank. I think that really helps the shape there.
What are you gonna smoke out of it?
I am going to smoke probably. Did I bring my plum pudding special reserve? Probably that. That's
Yeah, you did.
I smoke that probably more than anything else. That's one of my favorites.
Cool.
And so, actually, I might smoke that
Our best blend.
our best blend, which is a Smoker's Haven blend. I've never tried this one, so my first one is probably going to be this one. But anyway, well, I mean, guys, what do you think?
I say we get to it. I'm gonna pause this.
Yeah,
We're gonna get to it.
so we were super pleased with how all of these
Really
pipes.
cool process.
Yeah, and just tickled that we could sit down, all four of us, with our brand new pipes and have a nice little smoke and everything. As we were talking, it was really nice to sit down with Trey and kind of share some fellowship. And he was talking a lot about the processes that he went through to make all these pipes. And one of the things that he did was he put a horn accent in the stems. And it's not just where it's the ebonite, then the horn accent, but it's actually ebonite, horn accent, ebonite again. So he put it in the center, and I kind of quizzed him about that, about how the process was. So he was kind enough to kind of show us how he did all of that. So here's a little bit of a video of that. All right, so one of the things that I was asking Trey was, okay, so if you notice on the pipe, you've got the vulcanite, you've got a little bit of the accent from the horn accent, and then some more vulcanite. What's the process of doing that? Yeah.
So it's not just slices of each thing slapped together with glue, because that's not going to be a very strong joint. If that was to drop or fall, it's probably going to shear off right where that connection is. So the way it's done is you'll slice off your accent material. I usually take it to the drill press and drill out the same diameter hole as I'm going to make the tin in. So I'll take the rod of ebonite, go to the metal lathe, and turn a tenon extra long, slide that piece of accent with a hole in it, and then I'll have another piece of ebonite that I cut from this originally with a hole in it and slide it on and glue all that with epoxy together.
So it's like a Lego kind of. You just
It's got a tenon running all the way through it
Yeah.
to keep that strength.
Got
Yep.
it. Okay, that's cool.
And,
And then how does it like? It's because it looks seamless.
It's all how sharp your bit is and how careful careful you are that everything's perfectly square and flush when we're putting it together.
So there's no adhesive in that.
Yeah, there's
There is?
epoxy.
Okay, so in addition to
Yeah.
the
fit,
tenon
right,
the tenon
yep,
going through.
yep,
Cool. Okay.
Yep. It's all pressed together, and then from there it's all just shaped.
Is that common? Is that something that you guys do a lot
Yeah.
of?
Yeah. Any kind of accent like that. That's one way to do it. There's a lot of ways to skin a cat. You could also put it on the shank itself, so that your joint would be at that line instead of there, right?
That's pretty interesting.
Similar concept. You would do a briar tenon through, fit your accent materials on, and then your stem would come out.
How does bamboo work? How do you do that?
Similar. So for that, there's a stainless steel tenon. I don't think I glued this together yet. So the bamboo is fit like that with a stainless steel tenon on both ends. And I usually either chuck that up or find another way to flush that, get it perfectly
Against
90
the-
degrees
yeah.
against that tenon. And then you're just drilling holes. This one will have a reverse tenon for the stem, so instead of the tenon being on the ebonite end, it'll have a hole going in and that'll serve as the tenon.
So, do you have to do something to the bamboo to be able to get that in there?
It's dried and aged for a while. As far as getting the stainless steel in,
Yeah.
so it's.
I mean, is bamboo pretty much straight already? Do you?
No. So that was a curved piece. There's a channel that runs through the inside that helps you kind of guide your drill bit as you're working it. But so that's drilled from two ends. To
I
make those
see.
holes if you need
I've
them.
always wondered about that, because like for instance, that's got to be a straight draw hole, isn't it?
Yep.
So you have to angle it
angled.
the right way to make sure that it's going in the direction and it
Right.
still properly draws and all of that.
Yep.
Are there like I've seen some pipes where they have kind of a slope a little bit, or maybe how does that work? Because you can't bend your drill bit to get in there, can you?
It's which slope are you talking about?
I'm talking about like some pipes are maybe like a bent,
A big steep bend.
yeah, like a bent pipe
So
or
that
something.
normally that draft hole is drilled straight, and you're just careful when you're shaping it.
I see.
Um,
So you're saying pretty much all the pipes that are made should have a straight.
there is such a thing as a curved drill hole.
Okay.
There's a guy that makes them. I don't remember his name. Max Caps pipes, I think. He does these big super swan necks, and those have. I don't know how he does it. There's some way he curves that hole,
That's interesting. I don't know how you can't bend the wood.
but that's how that's done. But on a steeper extent for
I see.
a big steep bend. So you can angle that draft hole down. The goal is to make it hit at the center of the bottom of the mortise, where it makes that connection so that it lines up with your tenon.
I was listening to one of the podcasts where they say like the Germans are actually kind of putting that draft hole right
Under.
at the bottom. What's the theory on that?
I think the thought is that it will allow you to burn all the tobacco down to the very bottom of the bowl,
Kind of like a calabash.
kind of like a calabash. But all your moisture is going down there too, so you're going to get a wetter smoke.
Yeah.
So there's going to be benefits and
Okay.
drawbacks to either method. I haven't noticed much difference on, as long as that draft hole's hitting the bottom of the bowl, even a little left to the right. I've got some keepers where I was off and I kept them and smoked them and they smoked fine.
Right.
Totally different.
Yeah, I think Colin was telling me because, of course, he makes pipes as well, but a little bit this way or this way doesn't make a big difference. It's this
Yes.
that makes the big difference.
Too high, then you get tobacco that doesn't burn at the bottom.
Right.
Too low, and then you start getting that gurgle moisture.
Right.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to get a hold of you to talk about a commission, what's the best way to do that?
I'm probably most responsive to Instagram. So if you send me a direct message on Instagram. Email also works.
Okay, well,
on my website.
I think I've got your card still, so all that information is still.
I can give you another one. Okay.
I'll put that on at the end of the video and let you guys see that too. Yeah, this is awesome.
Great.
I mean, it smokes wonderful. So far, I haven't felt the pipe heat up, and typically I'm a fast smoker. I haven't felt the pipe heat up at all. It's been dry so far.
Good.
So I'm happy.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm really happy. Guys,
I'm glad.
what do you think?
I like it. This is gonna be my first fancy pipe.
Yeah, Ian is a beginner pretty much. So
Yeah.
he's,
Yeah.
The fanciest one I had was a oh crap, it was that maroon Peterson.
Peterson.
Yeah.
That's the most fancy one I had.
Yeah.
This one wins.
well, be careful.
Hopefully you can tell a little bit of difference.
Yeah.
Very nice. And then finally, I had brought my 2019 Trey Rice smooth pipe, and it was beginning to lose a little bit of its luster, and so Trey was gracious enough to say, "Hey, give it to me, and I'll spark it up for you."
Yeah.
So I gave it to him, and this kind of shows the process that he went through of kind of putting that sheen back on the pipe, or the luster back on the pipe. And as we kind of got through that, we started talking about a few other things as well. So here's that video of that.
Probably better on this side.
All right,
actually.
so Trey, I've got one of his pipes that I bought at the 2019 Texas Pipe Show, and he is going to polish it up a little bit for me. So I just wanted to kind of show you what he does with this. So here we go.
It really doesn't need much. It's got the shine still pretty good on it. So I'm going to put a light coat of wax on it,
The Carnauba.
Carnauba wax, and then I'll hit it with a final buffing polish. It's just a clean polish at a slow RPM.
Like I said, this variable speed.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
that's
Man, that's
cool.
cool. So variable speed. When you put that wax on your wheel, how much of that are you putting on there? I mean, that looks like the bar that I have too.
And I've had that since I started.
Okay.
Very little. I touch it until I can smell the Carnauba.
Okay.
That's the way I do it. Which usually that ends up being a little heavy, but I usually start waxing the stem first because that's easier to pull the wax out.
Now, the when I bought that, you said it was a teardrop, which is what the shank is
here
doing right there, right?
Yep.
What's the bowl shape? Is that like a apple or a pear or
Yeah,
something?
depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
Apple is what I would call it. On these, you've got to be very careful along those edges that you don't pull any of the stain off. That's one thing you can really tell on a quality pipe, is if there's a highlight of a lighter stain there where they pulled that stain off, it's because they're buffing too fast,
buffing too hard
pressing
or-
too hard.
yeah. What color is that? What do you think?
If I remember right, I used a burgundy on the base stain, and the top stain was either British tan or this kind of honey stain that I have. I'm not very good at remembering what I put on each pipe. I need to start writing them down and keeping track.
So, in your estimation, how long have you been making pipes?
Since 2008, because I was a freshman, so sophomore year, 2009. So it's,
So 12 years.
but there was a 5 or 6 year break in there where I didn't have a shop.
Okay.
So I paused then. So cumulative, probably 6 to 7 years now.
Okay. And how many pipes do you think you've made, approximately?
That's a good question. From the beginning, probably 300, 325, something like that. I don't make very many a year, so it takes me a while to get
Well,
up there.
you've got a
But,
real job, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, is it your goal to one day strictly be making pipes as a living?
I don't know that I would ever want it to be my
Your job.
sole,
Yeah.
not necessarily job, but sole. I need to provide for my family. Do this. If I've done well enough as an architect where I could semi-retire and make pipes, that would be the dream scenario. Where I'm not pressured to make sales and make money, but
Yeah.
I get to enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, because when it becomes the task of providing for your family, then you're worried more. You're like,
Yeah.
I've got to knock out some pipes. I got to get some out there.
Yep.
When you look at a piece of briar, what goes through your mind? I mean, as far as creation.
A lot of it depends on first if it's a commission or a something that I'm creating. If it's a commission, then normally I have an idea of shape,
Yeah.
and I'll pick a block that will suit that shape. But if it's something that I'm creating, if I start with a shape in mind, I'll find a block that fits that shape. But other times, the block will tell me kind of what it wants to be. It depends on how I'm going to drill it too. So if it's a shape first, then drill, that's a different kind of process or thought
Yeah.
train.
I know this pipe was like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember much about making that pipe?
I remember that I shaped first and then drilled second.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's the best way to make sure that you're following the grain around the pipe. You put it on the lathe and start shaping and drilling on the lathe, you're kind of stuck with however you chucked it up. That grain orientation, you can't. It's harder to alter that after you drill it. You have a buffing wheel, don't you?
I do.
The one thing, I'm being careful to make sure that I'm, especially like with this edge, I'm not going into that edge. So the wheel's spinning this way, I'm going down away from the sharp edge here, and I'm really careful on how much pressure I'm putting on that.
Right.
But
Some of the amateurs like myself, we get those lathes those wheels that are not a variable speed. Is that really important? That
you'll see how much I slow it down to do this final wax and
Okay.
polish. That's very important. So that was 800 RPM, I think, for applying the wax. And I would normally do that probably around 1,000 on a new pipe. But for the final buff, I'll slow it down to about 500. And that's just to make sure that you're very careful on that.
now this pad that you're putting on right now, it doesn't have anything on
Nothing
it, right?
on it, right?
Yeah.
Other than what's been pulled off from previous
Right,
pipes.
right. Yeah, and I notice your wheels are
Bigger diameter.
wider and bigger than what I've got.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was doing those pre-made pipes from RNA Treasures, I think that particular wheel was fine, but I wouldn't suggest that anybody, especially with an artisan pipe like this, that you try to do it on your own.
Unless you have the right equipment.
Well, and experience, I think, too. I'd hate to mess up a pipe that I bought that has a special, meaning to me. What is boxwood?
It's a type of. I think it's the same. Same general family of plant that you had boxwoods in the front of your house.
Okay.
Right?
Because I think that's what that accent is on
Yeah.
that.
This one I think is olive wood.
Olive wood?
Right. I think so. Because it's got a little less. With that graining in there. That's olive wood. The best boxwood I think comes from Europe. So the stuff that I got recently is French boxwood, and it's super clear and bright. There's other species of boxwood that are from South Africa, I think, and they're they're more dull. It's not you don't get as great of a accent, in my opinion, with those.
So, how much in a week's time do you spend in your shop here?
So I'm normally up and out here by about 5:30 or so in the morning, and I'll work until 7:30, somewhere in that range. Pretty much every day, and that's pretty much all the time I get.
So when you come home, you're a dad.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you've
yeah.
got dad duties.
Yep.
Yeah. So in the morning by yourself.
Before the kids wake up.
Yeah, nobody's
before I go to
asking
work.
you anything of you.
Yep.
2 cups of coffee.
Yeah. That's true. I usually read something,
Yep.
have a cup of coffee, and then I'll start. Alright. I'm getting my fingerprints on it, but
Well, it'll
I
wipe
think
off.
that's there.
Yeah. Nice. You can even from here you can even see the sheen. The grain is beautiful on that. So I can't tell you how tickled we are with our pipes, and the process of working with Trey and going through design and everything like that was painless. It was so easy.
It was really easy. Trey was just an easy guy to work with.
And I can't express enough how wonderful these artisan pipes are. Guys, if you get a chance to have a pipe made specifically for you with something that you want special, you need to go out and give that a try. And please contact Trey Rice, because he is super easy to work with. He's prompt about getting information.
Yeah, he's very prompt about getting with you, even if it's just so much as, hey, give me a couple days, I'm going to get back on it, but I have to do this.
Well, and sent us pictures through the entire
whole
process.
Yeah.
And nice thing about Trey is that if there's something that you want and you describe it to Trey, he's going to be super upfront with you and say, yeah, we can do that, or hey, there's going to be some problems with this. And so he's not going to feed you a line. He's going to tell you the honest truth, so that you get exactly what you want out of your pipe. So here at the end of the video, we're going to post some of Trey's information. You can get a hold of him through email. You can get a hold of him through Instagram or Facebook. That information is going to be on the end of the video that you can kind of jot down. Please give him a holler. You will not regret it. These pipes are excellent pipes. We're so pleased with them. And we got some pictures here that we're going to show you of the final products. And these are pictures that Trey took. Nice quality professional pictures.
Yep.
So enjoy those. Guys, thank you very much for all of your suggestions and all of your comments and all of your support. If you've got anything you want to share with us, please make sure that you post it underneath the video. We'll definitely get back to you. Guys, thanks. Go out there and have a wonderful week. Don't forget,
make all your piping moments count.
We'll see you next time. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Guys.
Thank you.